Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Shan and today I've got for you some tips on getting through lockdown if you're on a no buy or low buy year. As most of you know, this year I decided I would embark on a no buy year to try and get out of my overdraft. I very rarely in the last 5 years, maybe longer, have ever been out of my overdraft by the kind of beginning of the month when money goes in. So that was why I started the no buy year, just to try and get rid of a bit of that overdraft so I didn't feel so bad every month, and so I wasn't paying like silly amounts of money in interest or fees on overdrafts. So that was why I started it. Then obviously lockdown happened, and I don't know about you, you may well be in the same boat as me where you've gone from having a job. I'm self-employed, so I had a job which was good, run a bed and breakfast, and now I don't have a job because we can't take in guests and my other work has kind of dried up. I've got the kids at home, so there is no income coming into my account at the moment, which has made doing a no buy year easier in that I now have no money to spend anyway, but equally it's made me really kind of assess where my money's going, what I'm spending it on, why it goes out, you know, all these kind of things. So I thought I'd share what I've learned during lockdown, because initially I felt a bit like, I need to buy everything for the kids, and I kind of entered this little sort of spiral of like, oh, I feel like I have to buy stuff. And I think that's kind of, for me certainly, it's an anxiety and nervous thing. It's like a way of me dealing with what's going on in the world, was just to buy things, mainly kind of things like a jigsaw for the kids, or things I mentioned in my previous video that were kind of to keep us entertained. But actually I haven't really spent that much money at all since then. And the first tip I wanted to share is something I always said I would do and never have, and that is to meal plan. And right now it makes so much sense. We're not eating any processed food really because we don't have access to a supermarket. Our nearest supermarket is 9 miles away, and I'm not driving there because that feels like a bit excessive. So luckily we've had two supermarket orders in the last 5 weeks, but that's it. The rest of the time we're making do with the butchers in the village, the greengrocers in the village, and that's it. So we have cut down hugely on processed foods, which is great, like I feel good, but I do miss the convenience of just chucking a ready meal into the microwave and it being done. I've really noticed with meal planning that firstly we're eating better food because we're all eating kind of homemade food. I'm making bread every other day because, again, bread is something that we can't easily get. So I'm making bread, we're meal planning, and just at the beginning of the week sitting down and thinking, right, what are we going to have on this night? And we're all eating together, which isn't something that happened before lockdown because my husband worked in Leeds and he often wasn't home till late, so the kids would eat earlier and he and I would eat later. So we're all eating together, which makes meal planning so much easier, because before it was hard to kind of meal plan for 2 different meals, if you get what I mean, per day. Meal planning has been amazing, and it's definitely saving how much we're spending on food. We're spending far less on food since lockdown, largely because of the second thing, which is that we are not buying snacks. So we don't have in the house at the moment crisps, kind of the yogurt things the kids eat, like Froobs, cheese strings, the kind of stuff that kids eat when they're snacking on things, kind of stuff that is marketed at kids to eat when they want to snack. We used to have all that kind of stuff in all the time. It was what went in their lunch boxes. It was easy. We haven't got that now. It's expensive. It's not as easy to get. We might get them one lot of snacks in a supermarket delivery, but then that's it. So if we don't get another supermarket delivery for 2 to 3 weeks, then they don't get them, and they're still surviving. We have got fresh fruit and veg, so they can go and have a banana or an apple. There is stuff they can eat if they're really that hungry, but I found that they haven't actually been moaning that they're that hungry, and they haven't been asking for more. So cutting out the snacks has been really good. It's also been very good for my waistline. I'd say I've lost half a stone easily, and I don't think I snacked that much, but now I'm just eating kind of 3 meals a day, and I'm definitely seeing a benefit for me too. Another tip is to look at what memberships you have currently to things that you're not going to. Now I know a lot of places like gyms have frozen memberships and things like that, but certainly at the moment we're paying out every month to the National Trust, and we obviously can't use those facilities, and I don't know when we can use them again. So our membership runs out next month, beginning of May, and I think we will just cancel it because I don't know when we'll be able to go to a National Trust property and enjoy that again. And it's £10 a month, which might not sound like a lot, but actually that definitely adds up, and we probably didn't use it as much as we should have done anyway. So I think probably we cancel that. At the moment we've also cancelled things like my daughter's karate fees, which we were paying every month, which was quite expensive. And again, it's something she's not having lessons for. And I know that's a difficult one because they're self-employed as well, but I am too. So, you know, we have to kind of balance that out in terms of getting the money. Have a look at what is going out of your account. If there's any kind of memberships to things that you're definitely not using right now that are about to expire or you can cancel, then cancel them, because again, you're going to be claiming that money back. The next thing is to ask yourself, do I actually need it when you're just about to make a purchase? Is it something that you're doing on a whim? Have you really thought this through? Is it something you can afford? My grandma always said to me, you should always ask, do I need it and can I afford it? And if the answer is no to either one of those, then you definitely don't get it. So I've kind of always lived by that. So just with each purchase, do you actually need it? Is it something that is useful in your life right now? And there are some things that are going to be useful, like my husband bought for the kids a badminton set for the garden just to keep them entertained for a bit longer, because the weather is so beautiful, about staying outside and just getting out there. I wanted to also say, if you're feeling bad about a purchase that you've made, then try to ease that guilt by thinking about the things you're not spending money on right now. There's no trains to work, there's no commuting, there are no car costs, no fuel costs. Certainly for me, you know, I've just ground to a halt. We've got a car outside that's literally going nowhere. So there are all those costs that have just gone, completely and utterly gone. And that's amazing. So think about the fact that you are actually going to be saving quite a bit of money in not kind of going to places and things like that. And equally, if you do things like meal plan, then your food shop will go down as well. And the final thing is, be kind to yourself. We haven't been through this before. This is different, it's new, it's scary, and you just have to be kind to yourself because we're not going to get through this otherwise. If you spend on something that you shouldn't, then don't beat yourself up about it. But make sure you see that right now is an amazing opportunity for spending as little as you possibly can. It could save you loads. If you're someone who normally commutes, all these kind of things, there could be a lot more money in your account than there normally is, so maybe pop that aside. I hope you've enjoyed all those tips. They've certainly been useful for me, so I thought I would share them with you. I will see you again soon. Alright, bye.